Energy was my first professional passion. And back in the day, if you were interested in energy, and in nuclear power as part of it, following Ralph Nader was a natural. I heard that he was coming to our city to make a presentation at the university, and I was determined to be there. But I didn't have a ticket, and when I called to check, there were no more to be had. What I did have was a great spirit of determination. I went to the auditorium well in advance of the program time, and there were university staff people and his staff and everybody there setting up, so the timing was just right. The front doors were, of course, locked, and I knocked on the doors and nobody came, and so I kept knocking until somebody did come. And I let them know that I was with the State Environmental Agency and wanted to cover the event. And I was actually on leave time to get to go to this event, and I did work for that agency. When asked for my ticket, I said that I didn't have a ticket, but I did have an important role in being there, or so I thought I did. All of my personal energy was swirling in a force of I was meant to be there. And the doors were opened to me. Not only that, I was able to arrange a front row seat. The presentation was awesome, and I was all the more fired up after having listened to it. But I knew that wasn't the end of my experience in being there. As his remarks were drawing to a close, I was already thinking about what my next move might be. I saw a set of stairs going up onto the stage at the far right of the auditorium, and as soon as he left the stage, I made my way in that direction and up the stairs and tucked myself in behind the draperies. I could see him backstage with staff and news reporters gathered all around to do interviews with him. And at that point, I had no idea what I was going to do next. But I did know that I had to do something in order to have a visit with him, and I wasn't going to leave there without one. I was patient and laid back until it was time to make yet another move. I watched them until I saw body language that they would soon be heading out the back door. So I eased along the back area of drapes and props and boxes and such, gravitating to the area of that door. When he and his group were actually turned toward, facing, and moving in the direction of the door, I went on out ahead of them. Soon they joined me in the parking lot. I watched with care their direction, and I just backed up and kept backing up in that direction until it was clear to me where they were heading, and I saw the car that they would be getting in. So I opened the back seat door of that car and got in. Mr. Nader got in the front seat, as did the driver. I slid to the center of the back seat, and two guys got in on either side of me. Never saw them before in my life, and I doubt that they had ever seen me either. They looked perplexed, understandably, and one of them turned to me and said, "Who are you?" I said, with every confidence, "I'm Marcia Elder, and I'm riding to the airport with you." They seemed confused, you think? But the driver took off and we were on our way. My mission was to tell Mr. Nader about my research project that I did in engineering grad school on nuclear power. It was quite detailed, and to provide him with a copy of that final report. His organization and he were very interested in and involved in the nuclear power issues, and so I told them that he and they were most welcome to use the report. Many years later, I was a speaker for a major energy conference where he was the keynote speaker. I got to have a visit with him and reminded him of that earlier experience, but gave him the whole story of how I wound up in his car on that day. One more piece of the story appears on the next page, and there are several additional slides with information that we think you'll be interested in, and we thank you for tuning in to this short video.